Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11, a reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest after recent self-storage break-ins in Iosco County. Plus, people packed on to Grand Lake today for the Real Fun Ice Fishing Tournament as part of Michigan's Free Fishing Weekend. And it's day 2 of the Great Backyard Bird Count, an event especially exciting to one Hillman man. We'll have those stories plus your local weather and sports. WBKB News at 11 starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between, this is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. Your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
A reward is being offered for any information leading to an arrest after recent break-ins reported at local self-storage facilities in Iosco County. Good evening, I'm Ashley Reed. Michigan State Police West Branch Post are investigating a mid-February breaking and entering of approximately 30 units at a self-storage facility in Alabaster Township. That's after a mid-December break-in of approximately 40 units at another self-storage facility in the same township. Both self-storage companies are located on the US 23 corridor. Physical evidence was located at both facilities, and troopers are continuing their investigations. Anyone who may have information or may have observed anything unusual during the overnight hours along the US 23 corridor are urged to contact Michigan State Police. Callers can contact the Michigan State Police West Branch Post at 989-354-0956, or Crime Stoppers will pay up to $1,000 for information leading to an arrest. They can be reached at 800-422-JAIL. And it's Free Fishing Weekend here in Michigan, and to encourage involvement, there were a number of area ice fishing tournaments. The 6th annual Real Fun Ice Fishing Tournament on Grand Lake was a big one, with about 800 tickets sold. This about doubles last year's turnout, making it a record-breaking year. 1,200 holes were drilled prior to the tournament, and from noon to 3, everyone tried to reel in the winning catch.
It's a fun event, and the younger kids come. There's no need to buy a fishing license, and it's just a great fun times.
Prizes were determined by fish weight and time registered. The winner left with a new John Deere Gator. Jeff Cole will have all of those results coming up in sports. All proceeds will go toward the River Center, whose mission is to build a healthier Thunder Bay habitat. Other ice fishing tournaments today included the Don McEwen Kids Tournament on Jewel Lake in Barton City and the Iosco Conservation District's tournament at Ken Ratliff Park in Oscoda. And today is day 2 of the 2014 Great Backyard Bird Count, and one Harrisville man is contributing to the global event. Frank Apsey began bird watching over 30 years ago, and this is his 6th year now going to Harrisville State Park to participate in this 4-day bird count. People all across the nation take at least 15 minutes to tally the numbers and kinds of birds they see from February 14th through the 17th at any location. Participants then enter their results online to help create a snapshot of the distribution and abundance of birds throughout the world.
I love showing people the birds, especially if nobody has ever done it before, because they just get astounded by their colors and the little tidbits that I give about each bird, and they become more aware that, geez, there's a lot of birds out here that I've never seen even around my yard, and so they are more apt to look. And they'll get their bird feeders up, which is very important in the winter.
With the sun shining bright today, Apsey saw 10 different species and a total of 27 birds. He says the best bird he spotted today was the common raven, which usually stays further north. Scientists use the information from participants like Apsey to see trends throughout different bird species. If you wish to join the count or see the results so far, just visit birdcount.org. People traveled from near and far, some nearly 150 miles, to put their archery skills to the test today. Today was the 2nd annual Center Shot Archery Tournament and Expo at the Aplex. It was put on by the Hubbard Lake Archers and Northeast Michigan Quality Deer Management Association. Vendors from all over the state were in attendance. The tournament was completely free, and trophies were awarded for the top 5 shooters in each of the 5 age categories.
Our purpose is to serve the community in a way that connects parents and kids together in a safe atmosphere that is faith-based.
Age categories ranged from under the age of 7 up to the age of 99. There was also a drawing for 5 Genesis bows, one awarded to someone from each age category. More than 100 people registered and more than 300 people were in attendance. Next year's tournament will be held on March 7th. It was a chocolate lover's dream today, and everyone in attendance certainly brought their appetites. Trinity Episcopal Church hosted its 15th annual chocolate extravaganza. The idea came about when a group of mostly women who love chocolate decided to get together and trade recipes, and it's grown bigger and bigger each year. For a small fee, anyone could come enjoy unlimited chocolate desserts, live jazz music, and door prizes.
Who doesn't love chocolate? And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. I'm just going to say it. But we love chocolate, and we love to share our chocoholism with the community. And people just have fun. They relax. They eat some great treats. They listen to some live jazz music, and just kind of warm up the winter months with some chocolate, which is always a good thing.
All of the proceeds go toward Trinity's scholarship fund to help students with the cost of books and other supplies. The chocolate extravaganza brings in about $1,500 each year. Coming up next on WBKB News at 11, the roof collapse at a popular Michigan bowling alley is proof of just how bad this winter has been. Plus, the weather has slowed down car sales, leading to some big discounts. Those stories and more after the break. Welcome back. In state news, a roof collapse proves just how harsh this winter has been. The roof collapsed on the Lariat Lanes bowling alley in Bangor sometime between 11 p.m. Thursday night and 7 a.m. yesterday morning, leaving the bowling alley in a disastrous state. It's the latest evidence of just how bad this winter has been. The roof collapsed under the weight of heavy snow. Luckily, the bowling alley was closed and no one was injured.
That would have been devastating. That would have been absolutely devastating if there was people in here. You don't know how fast it came down. I don't know if it just gone boom or if it just started to where people could get out or whatever. I don't know.
Hensley says he's glad it didn't happen earlier that night because it was a full house at the bowling alley. According to MLive, not much is known as far as the extent of the damage and what exactly comes next. Hensley says he has to wait for the insurance company. As for now, the bowling alley and restaurant on M43, which opened in 1958, remains closed. In your Money Watch, the markets are closed for President's Day. Wall Street traders will return Tuesday. Yesterday, some disappointing economic news could not keep the markets from gaining ground. The Dow climbed nearly 127 points. The Nasdaq gained 3. The big storms that recently hit several states are leading to some big discounts at car dealerships. Weather in January and February slowed showroom traffic and sales, so automakers are cutting prices to boost business. Ford and GM are offering incentives on their pickups. Honda and Toyota are discounting many of their popular midsize sedans. And yesterday was Valentine's Day, and they say money can't buy love. But new research begs to differ. The study from retail analyst Mintel found the more money you make, the more likely you are to find a romantic partner. 96% of people who make over $83,000 a year say they've been in love, but only 83% of people who make less than $16,000 a year can say the same. A gas price hike alert has been issued in the state of Michigan, projecting the average gas price to rise more than 15 cents per gallon. GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan put together state and local gas prices. And it looks like we may already be seeing some of those effects here in Alpena. The highest price for gas is coming in at $3.55 at Marathon. The lowest is $3.35 at Murphy, USA. Across the state, the highest gas price is $3.79 in Romulus. The lowest price is coming in at $3.04 in Waterford. There's still much more to come on WBKB News at 11. Jeff Cole will be in with a look at sports. And how nice was it to see that sunshine today? I'll be right back to let you know if there's more weather to be looking forward to. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. It's time now for a look at the weather. Today, the high was 19 degrees. The low was 1 degree. Normal high for this time was 29. Normal low is 11. Luckily, that sun was shining today, so it didn't feel quite as cold as the real temperature was. Record high for this day, 52. That was back in 1954. Record low was 27 below. That was back in 1943. Sunrise this morning was around 7:35. Sunset this evening around 6:02. And taking a look at the current conditions here in Alpena, Currently, temperature is 6 degrees. No winds, though, making it really feel like 14 degrees outside. And then taking a look at our satellite and radar, you can see that as for now, most of this accumulation is to the west of us. However, some of that will be moving into the area tonight. So snow showers about possible up to an inch possible, 4 degrees for our low. Calm winds throughout the night, and then moving into tomorrow, we'll see some snow. That's mostly going to be before 9 a.m. though. New snow accumulation of about a ½ inch possible, 15 degrees for our high. North winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. However, that wind chill could get as low as 4 below. And then moving into tomorrow night, mostly clear, 8 below for our low. North winds around 5 miles per hour. And taking a look at the week ahead in our extended weather forecast, we can see that we're going to get a little bit of a warm-up, which should feel great after the weather we've been having this winter. Monday for President's Day, snow mainly afternoon, high of 20 degrees, a low of -2. However, wind chill values could reach as low as 16 below. Tuesday and Wednesday, partly sunny. We'll reach a high of 36 degrees both of those days. Drop down again to a high of 34, not too much cooler on Thursday. We will see a chance of rain and snow. And then Friday, partly sunny once again, 35 degrees for our high and 21 degrees for the low. And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Wayne and Rita Ferguson. They sent us this photo of a flock of birds that look like they don't quite belong here in snowy Alpena. You may have seen these flamingos while driving down Washington Avenue and wonder why they're in this front yard. I know I've been curious, but unfortunately, I don't have the answer for you, although I do know that sometimes people are quote-unquote flocked as part of a fundraising effort or for a special occasion. Thank you, Wayne and Rita, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo that you would like to send us, just email a photo along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com. A new study from the Harvard School of Public Health and the Mount Sinai School of Medicine finds toxic chemicals may be triggering the recent increase in disabilities like autism, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and dyslexia. The study published in Lancet Neurology adds 6 new chemicals to the list, including a flame retardant commonly used on electronics, furniture, and car interiors, and a solvent used in dry cleaning. Annual mammography screening in women ages 40 to 59 does not cut breast cancer deaths, according to a new Canadian study. Researchers looked at 25 years of data and found mammograms are not any better than physical examinations or usual care. The American College of Radiology calls the research a misleading analysis based on the deeply flawed and widely discredited Canadian National Breast Screening Study. The pain reliever found in Aleve and many other medications may not be safer on your heart. An FDA advisory panel says naproxen does not appear to lower the risk of heart attack and stroke compared to other anti-inflammatory medications like ibuprofen. Federal health experts say recent studies about its potential benefits are inconclusive and do not warrant label changes. In national news, the Florida man accused of killing a teenager after an argument over loud music was found guilty of several charges, but the jury could not reach a verdict on the most serious charge of murder. CBS's Marley Hall reports from New York.
Declare that mistried, and we will...
A Florida judge declared a mistrial on the most serious charge in the loud music murder trial.
Based on the jury's inability to reach a verdict as to count 1, I would declare that mistried.
The jury convicted Michael Dunn of 4 lesser charges, including 3 counts of attempted murder, but jurors could not reach a consensus on the murder charge. Dunn claimed he acted in self-defense when he fatally shot 17-year-old Jordan Davis in Jacksonville in 2012. The gunfire was captured by a convenience store security camera. The 47-year-old software engineer said Davis became angry after he asked the Georgia teen and his friends to turn down the loud rap music in their SUV. Dunn testified that as the situation escalated, he thought he saw the barrel of a shotgun and heard Davis threaten to kill him.
I'm not going to forfeit my life to somebody.
Dunn said he grabbed his gun to protect himself and fired at the SUV. He then fled the scene. Authorities never found a weapon in the teen's vehicle. Davis's parents were pleased with the verdict.
We're so grateful that the jurors were able to understand the common sense of it all.
Dunn faces a minimum of 20 years in prison for each of the attempted murder charges. Prosecutors plan to retry the murder charge. Marley Hall for CBS News.
Tomorrow would have been Jordan Davis's 19th birthday. Well, sports is coming up next. Jeff Kolb is here with a preview of what's ahead. Some former pro hockey players in town tonight, huh, Jeff?
That's right, Ashley. It was a fun night over at Northern Lights Arena as the Alpena Flyers tried to take down the Red Wing alumni team. Plus, the best wrestlers in the area were eyeing a trip to states today. Highlights of that coming up after the break. Imagine shaking hands with one of your pro sports heroes. That'd be pretty cool. Now, let's take it one step further. What if I said you could take that player on at their own game? Must be a dream, right? Well, several former Alpena hockey players found themselves face-to-face with Detroit Red Wing legends in support of a good cause over at Northern Lights Arena tonight. While many of the current Red Wings were in Sochi, Russia Saturday night for the Winter Olympics, some of their predecessors were taking the ice right here in Alpena in the Red Wings alumni game.
We have a lot of fun playing the game, a lot of fun getting back together with the guys, and the opportunity to play against some people from Alpena and maybe play a few jokes on them, score a few goals, but have a lot of laughs.
Those laughs can help a lot if you're an Alpena Flyer, finding yourself mentally frozen while boxing out your Red Wing hero along the boards.
To have the opportunity to share the ice with some of them and play with them and just chat with them and be around them will be a great experience.
After getting out the initial jitters of excitement, Alpena players finally realized the tough undertaking on the ice before them.
They're big, brutal, and they have no knuckles, so I mean, like meeting a bear in the woods.
It's going to be a challenge for me, you know, because they're all bigger and faster, but I think I can handle them.
Saying they're past their prime is putting it nicely, but these Detroit greats certainly don't plan on leaving Alpena without a W. What are the chances that the Alpena Flyers win tonight?
None.
A moment Eric Peterson will never forget. Got the home squad on top early in the first, though, and out came the excuses.
Sometimes these referees, they just make terrible calls, you know, and they call us for a hooking or a holding penalty, and, you know, some of the guys get a little upset.
In the end, the pros did what pros do, winning 6-1. But the biggest winners of all were the kids, not the grown-up ones, thrown back into childhood dreams come true, but the youth teams receiving all of the profit from the event. I'm still drying off from that choke gozer bath. All proceeds from the game will help out the 3 Thunder Bay Rex travel youth hockey teams. Moving to the junior hockey ranks, Alpena falling to Bloomington this afternoon 5-3, so tomorrow will be the rubber match of the series. Andrei Kiselev picking up 3 more points today, while Edgar Karlamov and Vladimir Makrusov added a goal and assist each. With 8 games left entering Sunday, the Street Cats sit 5 points back of the Detroit Fighting Irish for 3rd place. And speaking of Sochi, over in Russia, the home country has taken the lead in the overall medal count with 15. USA and the Netherlands are close behind with 14 medals each. Today, Matt Antoine got the Americans a bronze medal in the men's skeleton, but the big news was definitely in hockey. The U.S. topping Russia in overtime, 3-2. Making a high school state tournament in any sport is a huge deal. And today, local wrestlers were hoping to punch their tickets for the Palace in 2 weeks. The top 4 in each weight class at regionals moving on. Rogers City playing host for the Division IV regionals. We start with Ryan Prescott, Whittemore Prescott's heavyweight state champ. Ryan having no trouble in his semifinal, pinning Keegan Richardson in 26 seconds. He wins the heavyweight regional for the 2nd straight year. For the Hurons, Jacob Sobek meeting the Cards' Dakota Finlay in the 140-pound semis. Sobek gets the pin, sending him to states. He'd finish 2nd for the day. At 2:15 for RC, Andrew Selke right here taking on Mayos, Colton McGregor in the semis, and Selke taking the match 5-1 before winning in his final. McGregor would take 3rd place. And it was a good day for Onaway. Joe Trainum beats Tony Moore at 112. He wins the regional and is in for states. In the 189-pound semis, Casey Watson winning by a major decision over Freddie Vanderstelt. He also wraps up the regional title. Finally, Isaac Nave looking to return to states from last year. He beats Whittemore's Kyle Leonard at 119 to do just that before finishing in 2nd place. 5 other area wrestlers to mention who qualified for states today. For Mayo, Patrick Stevens finished third at 103, and Scott Blamer was fourth at 152. Whittemore will be sending Kyle Leonard at 119 and Austin Howard at 140, both placing in fourth today. And in Division I, Alpena's RJ Centella grabbing fourth place to make it at 140 pounds as well. Moving from the mats to the ice, as you saw earlier today, was the Real Fun Ice Fishing Tournament on Grand Lake. And taking a look at the top 5 finishers, well, Robert LaFleur has himself a brand new 2014 John Deere Gator, thanks in large part to his .83-pound perch. Finishing behind him were Justin Taylor, Ty Ross, Andy Zieleskowski, and Tyler DeCare. Definitely a good day for ice fishing. There's just 2 weeks left in the regular season for the ACC men's and women's basketball teams. Today, the Jacks were down at Henry Ford, and as you can see, the men unable to get back in the win column, falling 71-65. But Trayvon Howard led the way with 16 points as 4 Jacks were in double figures. The women made it 2 in a row, however, beating Henry Ford 55-44. Whitney Frazier putting in 21 on the day, while Anna Carrick had 10. And keeping it on basketball, Trey Burke, former Michigan player, I don't know if you remember him.
Yes.
Pretty good in the NCAA tournament. Well, he won the skills challenge along with Damian Lillard of the Blazers rally.
Oh, cool.
Tonight. So a little shout out
Congratulations
to
to him.
So that Damian Lillard, can't say that name, Damian Lillard.
Lillard.
But he's the one who's competing in, I think, 5 NBA All-Star competitions.
That's impressive.
But congrats to Trey Burke.
All right, well, coming up next on WBKB News at 11, ice caves have formed on Lake Michigan, and the formations are truly a rarity. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, ice caves have formed on Lake Michigan, and it's not something that happens every winter. The ice caves formed off the coast of Leelanau County near Gills Pier Road. Locals say ice caves have only sprouted up once in the last decade, and even then they weren't this extensive.
We have never seen anything like this before.
They've ever been here.
And what's interesting is we were on Lake Huron 2 weekends ago, and they had them on Lake Huron, but they weren't anything as beautiful as these are.
To get formations this big, they needed lots of wind to push the ice forming on the lake, plus frigid temperatures. But no one has minded being in the cold if it has meant getting a glimpse at the ice caves. Those are pretty cool to look at, too. It's too bad we don't have any on Lake Huron.
Well, you and I have both seen some interesting ice formations this winter. I think maybe you know where I'm going here. We had some huge icicles outside of our station.
Oh my gosh, humongous.
We brought one inside.
Yeah,
I don't know if
we
that was
did.
a good
I think
idea.
they were about the size of us. So.
Yes, probably bigger than me.
Yeah.
So
it's fun though.
Cool to see some ice caves.
Yeah.
Like you said, I wish we had some around here. So, and remember, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on more news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV.
That's all we have for you tonight, but be sure to tune in again tomorrow night at 11. I'll have your local news, and Jeff will have all of your updates from the world of sports. Have a great night.